What is the difference between simple interest and compound interest? This video will explain the difference. So first we'll start by reviewing simple interest. Suppose we have $100 to invest at a rate of 50%. Now a rate of 50% is very, very unlikely. However, this makes the calculations very easy. Let's find the interest earned for 3 years. So let's say it's January 1st and we go down to the bank and deposit $100. One whole year passes and the bank pays you interest. So using the I equals PRT formula, we get I equals 100, which is the principal, times the rate, which is 0.5 because we need to write it as a decimal, times time, which is 1 because it's only been 1 year. And this equals $50 in interest. So for year 1, the account will have the original $100 that we started with plus $50 in interest. Another year goes by and the bank is going to pay interest again. Using the I equals PRT formula, again we have the interest equals 100, which is the principal, times the rate, which is 0.5, times the time, which is 1, because only 1 more year has passed. And this equals $50 in interest. So for year 2, there is the original $100 plus $50 in interest from the first year, plus now we've just earned another $50 in interest for the second year. So the account now has a total of $200. On to year 3. I'll do the same thing. I equals the principal, which was 100, times the rate, which is 0.5, times the time, which is 1, since 1 more year has passed. For year 3, we have the original $100 that we invested, plus the $50 of interest from the first year, the $50 of interest from the second year, and now we're adding another $50 from the third year. This account now has a total of $250. So the account is increasing by $50 each year. Now it's time to compare this to compound interest. We're going to do the same problem of investing $100 with the same rate of 50%, but now we're going to use compound interest. The problem starts off the same. On January 1st, we go down to the bank, we invest $100, and then we leave it there and don't do anything. Then during the first year, we will do the same thing that we did with the simple interest problem, and we'll calculate the interest. So I equals PRT. So I equals 100, which is the principal, times the rate, which is 0.5, times the time, which is 1 year, which is $50 in interest. The account now has $150 in it after the first year. Okay, a whole nother year goes by. We're back in January. This is the second year. Now, this year we're going to do something different than we did with simple interest. Instead of using 100 for the principal, we're going to take all the money in the account and that will become the new principal amount. So principal is now the $150 that was already in the account. That was the original $100 investment plus the $50 in interest. So for year 2, interest is going to be 150, which is the principal, times the rate, which is 0.5, times the time, which is 1 year, because only 1 year has passed. So this equals $75. So for year 2, we now have $150 that was already in the account, and we're adding $75 of interest instead of $50, which is how much was added when we did just simple interest. Okay, a whole nother year has gone by, so we're at year 3, and we're going to take all the money that's in the account, and that now becomes our new principal. So that's going to be the 150 from the first year plus the interest from the second year. Then to calculate interest, we get I equals 225, since that is the new principal amount, times 0.5, which is the rate, times 1, because one more year has passed. This is $112.50 of interest for the third year. You'll notice that the amount of interest added to the account each year increases. First it started at 50, then it went to 75, then it went to 112.50. So now let's compare the two accounts. In the first account, using simple interest, at the beginning of that third year, we have $250 in the account, which is great. Now, in the second account with a compound interest, there is $337.50 in the account at the beginning of the third year. So you'll notice there's a difference of not quite $100. So the big question is, which account do you want to have? The difference is that simple interest calculates interest on the initial principal amount only. Once that principal amount is set, that's what we use for if it's 1 year or 2 years or 10 years or 12 years, whatever it is. Whereas compound interest is calculated on the original principal as well as any accumulated interest.